Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Portrait. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we have race 36 of the NASCAR Cup Series Championship 4 race at Phoenix. 35 races in the books already. We've had a great season with the Next Gen car. We had the All-Star race. We had the Busch Light Clash, the Blue Vacation duels at Daytona. Here we are, the last race of the season. We're going to crown the champion among 4 drivers: Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and Ross Chastain. 312 miles, 312 laps, 3 stages, 60, 125, 127 at Phoenix. The last 10 races at Phoenix have been 5 won by Toyota, 3 by Ford, and 2 by Chevrolet. Now, we have seen in the past 5 years, it takes a win to win the championship. That doesn't guarantee the winner of the race will be the champion, because we could have a Final Four, Championship 4 win the race. But more times than likely, it's going to have to be that you have to win to get in. We had some news today. Jimmie Johnson back in NASCAR, teaming up with Petty GMS. Maury Gallagher and Richard Petty. They're Petty GMS. 20% stake is what I've been hearing number-wise. He said he's going to run 8 to 10 races next year. Somebody said 5 to start. Somebody said 6 to 8. He mentioned that he was looking at 8 to 10 for IndyCar, so probably somewhere in that neighborhood. He said there's some one-off stuff, bucket list kind of stuff, which, to be honest, if you look at the schedule, and then we had Kyle Busch announced KBM's lineup for next year. Chase Purdy going to run full-time in the 4. We're going to have Jack Wood. I like that pickup for both those pickups, actually. Running part of the 51 truck. He'll get the vast majority. I think he'll do like half the season. The other half would be Kyle's 5, and they have an all-star truck for Chevrolet drivers. Hint, hint, Jimmie Johnson. That was actually something that Kyle had mentioned. They threw Jimmy's name out there, which Jimmy wants bucket list things to do. If you look at the Cup schedule for next year, you already said Daytona. He'll be there at Daytona. Bristol Dirt, that would be a good one for the truck. Do it in the truck and do the Cup. Kind of do the double there. North Wilkesboro, the All-Star race. Now, he wouldn't be eligible for the All-Star race unless he was racing full time, but North Wilkesboro is on the truck schedule as well. I believe. Let's see here. So the road course, the street course in Chicago is on the Xfinity and the Cup. North Wilkesboro, May 21st. That's an off week for Xfinity. Truck is in North Wilkesboro. So truck's at Bristol Dirt. Those might be a truck race that I could see him wanting to do in North Wilkesboro. Hey, doing a truck, why not? But yeah, so there's some crown jewel events there. I think he would definitely want to be a part of. Let's see, this has been updated here. It has Kyle Busch Motorsports. Yeah, Chase Purdy in the 4 full time. Jack Wood for 10 races in the 51, Kyle his 5, and then 7 for the All-Star. And he mentioned Jimmy's name and stuff. So I actually think those are good pickups for KBM. I think KBM will be a hell strong team next year. I think Chase Purdy will get his first career win and make the playoffs. Has Jimmy raced in the Truck Series? I know we got to get to the Cup preview here, but I kind of like doing this kind of stuff. He's had one previous truck start, and that was at Bristol back in 2008. Yeah, he had 2 full seasons in Xfinity in 2000, 2001 at Herzog Motorsports, because he came from the off-road world. And then he got the Cup in 2002 full-time. So, yeah, so I definitely can see him wanting to do some. Hey, you know what? When you're 47 years old and you're a 7-time champion, you can do whatever you want to do in whatever series you want to do it in. I'm all for that. All right. let's get to this championship. All right, we got to figure out who's going to win the race. We got to figure out who's won the championship. I got a good idea for the championship, who I want to pick and why. You can make a case for all four of them, and I wouldn't hate it if any of them won, to be honest with you. Last 7 races at Phoenix. Kevin Harvick, 6.1 average finish. Joey Logano, 6.3 in a win. Denny Hamlin, 7.0 in a win. Kyle Busch, 8.0 in a win. Kyle Larson, 9.3 in a win. Remember, Kyle Larson is in the owner championship. Chase is not. The 9 is not. The 5 is. So, Kyle Larson can win the owner's championship. Chase Elliott can win the driver's championship. And somebody else can win the race altogether. You'd have 3 burnouts happening on the front stretch. Kyle Larson, 9.3 average finish at Phoenix with a win. Ryan Blaney, 9.6. Eric Almirola, 10.9. Brad Keselowski, 11.3. Chase Elliott, 11.7 in a win. Christopher Bell, 17. And Ross Chastain, 18.8. Now, if you're new to NASCAR, welcome. There's basically a race inside a race. We'll have 36 cars on the track. All of them are racing for the win of the race. They're looking to win the Phoenix race, the Championship 4 race. We have 4 guys. The highest finisher of the 4, Joe Logano, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, the highest finisher of those 4 wins the championship. And because of the way things fell this year with Kurt Busch getting hurt and the 45 making the playoffs, but Ryan Blaney not, that's where we get that wonky thing with the Owners' Championship that's really never been a thing in the Cup Series. It's always been a thing in the Xfinity and the truck. So Kyle Larson, the 5 car, because they won at Homestead. Homestead. They can win the owner's title. So technically, if Kyle Larson wins the owner's title, Chase Elliott wins the driver's title, they both go to Henry Motorsports. But if Logano, Christopher Bell, or Ross Chastain wins the championship, they would also win the owner's title. Unless the 5 car wins the race. Yeah, I know, right? It's all kind of, yeah. So Logano, Bell, or Chastain can win the owner's title in the champion as long as they finish in front of Larson and Chase Elliott. Yeah. So it's going to be a unique kind of story within the story within the story kind of deal. Now, based on what's happened at Phoenix in the last 7 races, that really doesn't tell us the full story. Let's look at similar tracks to Phoenix. We look at Richmond, basically, which is a reverse Phoenix. New Hampshire, we'll look at that one as well. That's 4 races between New Hampshire, Richmond, and Phoenix. Kevin Harvick, 3.5 average finish from those 4 tracks, those 4 races, with a win at Richmond. Denny Hamlin, 6.0 with a win at Richmond. Richmond and Phoenix are a lot alike. Chase Elliott, 8.0. Christopher Bell, 8.75 with a win at New Hampshire. Kyle Busch, 9.25 average finish. Ryan Blaney, 9.75. William Byron, 10.75. Ross Chastain, 11.75. Chase Briscoe, 12.5 in a win at Phoenix in the spring. Mark Truex Jr., 12.5. And Joey Logano, 13.75. So if you look at similar tracks versus the last 7 races at Phoenix, Ross Chastain is kind of down there, but Joe Logano's on. He's the best at Phoenix. He's the worst at the similar tracks. Now, if we look at just flat tracks, so this would be Pocono, Gateway, Martinsville, Nashville, New Hampshire, and Phoenix. You wrap all those into one little bundle and look at just those races. Chase Elliott, 8.3 with 2 wins. Christopher Bell, 8.5 with 2 wins. There might be your battle. Ryan Blaney, 9.75. Logano, 10.3 in a win. Denny Hamlin, 10.8 in a win. Kyle Busch, 10.8. Ross Chastain, 11.2. Kyle Larson, 12.1. Kevin Harvick, 12.6 in a win. William Byron, 13.0 in a win. Martin Truex Jr., 14.1. Now, this is a mile track, so we're going to look at just the mile tracks, which is Dover, New Hampshire, and Phoenix. Ross Chastain, 4.3. Ooh, so Ross Chastain is right there. Chase Elliott 4.6 and a win. Harvick 6.6. Kyle Busch 8.6. Chase Briscoe 9.6 and a win. Christopher Bell 10.3 and a win. Daniel Suarez 10.6. Denny Hamlin 13.3. Bubba Wallace 13.6. So, with all those numbers to look at, that's how I'm going to figure out who my picks are. Now, some little Larry McNuggets here. 5 straight champions have won the race. So, I look at 2017 to current, because 2017 was the first year for the stage racing. I think stage racing makes a big difference in it. So, 2017 to now, you've had the win to win the championship. Coke family of drivers. The last 2 Roval winners. The last 2 Roval winners have went on to win the championship in the same year. 3 out of the 5 years, of the last 5 years of the playoffs, 3 out of the 5 years, the winner at Charlotte, which was 2 of them were the Roval, 1 was the oval track. 3 of the 5 have won the title. Christopher Bell won the Roval this year. So 3 of the last 5 champions won the playoff race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 3 out of the last 5 champions started the season with a top 10 at Daytona. Chase Elliott did that this year, the only one of the drivers to do it. 2 out of the last 5 finished in the top 10 at Martinsville in both races. Ross Chastain did that. 4 out of the last 5 champions finished top 10 at Darlington. Logano did that. I'm looking at Christopher Bell. This is his 3rd season, I do believe. Let's pull that up here real quick. And something that Dave Moody said on NASCAR Satellite Radio today was incorrect, and I tweeted at him to correct him. Christopher Bell won the 2017 Camping World Truck Series title. He never won an Xfinity Series title. He finished 3rd in 2019, 4th in 2018, but he made the Final Four. And he made the Final Four in Cup this year. So he's the first driver to be in the Final Four in playoffs in Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. He never won an Xfinity title. So this is his 3rd full season. If we look at Mr. Elliott here, Chase Elliott is a year younger than, which is ironic as heck. He's 26 and Christopher Bell's 27. I know Christopher Bell raced a lot in the sprint cars and all that. He was a Toyota development driver. And he's one of the, and like David Wilson has said, when you're a Toyota development driver like that, yeah, they're going to lose more than they're going to keep, but they keep the ones they want to keep. And Christopher Bell was one of those. He came to the system. Chase Elliott, 1, 2, 3, 4. On his 5th full season, which was 2020, he won the title. When he won the title, he won the Roval, 6th at Kansas, 20th at Texas. So, I mean, the tracks are going to be a little different, but I mean, the gist is the same. He won the Roval, the cutoff race, and won Martinsville, and won Phoenix, and finished 6th and 20th in between. Christopher Bell won the Roval, 34th at Vegas. He got taken out in the above Wallace Larson thing. 11th at Homestead, and won Martinsville. My pick to win the title, because he's kind of almost following that Chase Elliott line there, Roval, Martinsville, Phoenix. My number 1 pick for the championship is Christopher Bell. I would say my second choice would be Chase Elliott, and then Logano and Ross Chastain. You could make a case for any of these 4 to win the title. I know everybody loves the move Ross Chastain did last week. Oh my God, that was the greatest move in the history of moves. Yeah, it was really cool. It was just crazy, and he's the right guy to pull it off, right? No, it was spectacular. It's one of those moves. It's like the what was it? The save in the grass so I didn't crash. Or sorry, the famous pass in the grass. It really was a save. He didn't pass him. He just saved it. But, you know, saving the grass, passing the grass sounds better. that and Bobby and Donnie fighting, or Bobby and Kale fighting, Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven at Darlington. Those are some of the, iconic things we see today on the highlight reel. This is going to be right there as well, the Ross Chastain move. Will somebody else do it? So eventually somebody will try, especially in the Cup Series. It worked. Why not try it? Will it happen in Phoenix? I don't know. I mean, who knows? But, so if I had to pick one, because like I said, I'm going to do one pick for the title. My pick for the title is Christopher Bell. For the race, my 4 picks, like I always do, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace. I said since Vegas, I was picking Bubba Wallace every week. I picked him last week. I'm picking him this week. He got a top 10 last week. I got 9th, I believe it was. I am a Bubba Wallace fan. I think that people have crapped on him and they shouldn't be. He made a mistake, just like Ty Gibbs made last week. But I know the first time was an accident. The second time was, you can say my bad. By the third time or more, it's like, seriously, there's a trend. Yeah, there's a trend with that kid. I get it. He's young. But you know what? Eventually, he'll figure it out. He will be that driver that everybody knows he can be. So I want him to win the Xfinity title just to listen to everyone talk on NASCAR Channel 90 on Monday. And if Ty Gibbs wins the title on Saturday night, I will call in to the morning show, TMD, with Pete Pistone and Mike Bagley. I will call in. My checkered flag will be Ty Gibbs winning the championship. My black flag will be all the haters out there that hated on Ty for last week. So, yeah. So look forward to that. Rob from Missouri. Checkered flag, Ty Gibbs if he wins the title. And black flag to all the haters out there that have been hating on him all week. Alright, that's going to wrap up the NASCAR Cup Series Championship 4. We are 108 days, I believe it is, until Daytona. The plan right now is to finish the Champion Profile Series through the offseason, along with some topics and stuff. I got some, like, best ofs and whatnot, and, yeah, like we're going to do, like, the NASCAR, I want to do, like, the Gen 3 car, the Gen 4 car, Gen 5 car, etc. The decade by the decades, who is the best of each decade, the different eras, all-time wins, current wins, father-son starts and wins, that kind of stuff, car number wins, all that. You're going to finish the Champion Profile Series and then lead up to a preview of the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum and then lead up to the playoff preview. And so I have 3 spots left on my list for 3 new champions this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, a lot of content in the off season. Of course, pro wrestling as well. In January 1st, we'll be starting the showcase of the independents. I'm going to profile 31 different independent wrestling companies. Their best of matches for 2022, along with the usual stuff we do here on Robert Sports Show. So thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.